Hello, class. My name is Jessica Glenn. I am your instructor for this semester. I apologize for having our very first class online, but I'm out of town this week and wanted to make sure that we were able to connect during our first week of class. So, welcome to Social Work 5311. This is Advanced Micro, and again, my name is Jessica Glenn. I'm your instructor for this semester. I have a very short introductory lesson for today, basically just walking us through the syllabus, introducing us to Canvas. For those of you who did not take a summer class, Canvas will be completely new to you. So we are completely phased out of using Blackboard, and UTA is completely rolled over to Canvas. So there will be a bit of a learning curve. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I am still new to UTA. My first class was over the summer. So this is my second semester at UTA, so I'm still learning, but if you have any questions, we can learn together. So just let me know. But the lecture for today, you can find when you log into UTA. You should be able to click on courses and then click on whatever course we're doing. So this is section 8 of 5311, and it'll open up to this home page. And you should be able to click, it's just taking a little bit to upload, but you should be able to click, any of these things here in the welcome bar, as well as over here on the left-hand side. So today, the main thing we're gonna do is review the syllabus, and then I'm also gonna show you how to find different modules. So the way that you can find today's lecture is to click on modules, and then go down to week 1 lecture materials and click on introduction. And then this is the PDF version of today's lecture. So that's how you can find all of the lectures that I'll be posting. And it's basically an outline of what we'll be talking about in class. So I have it pulled up over here. So I'm going to be going off of this because it's easier for me to navigate on my end. So, okay, so what you can expect this year, and up at the top I have the phrase setting the frame. And this basically means, this is a phrase that you'll use in therapy. And it basically means setting the expectations for the therapeutic encounter. And so I'm going to be doing my best this semester to reflect to you in class things that we would do in therapy. So what we'll be doing today is the same thing that you would be doing in a therapeutic interaction with someone when you first meet them. And that's really setting the frame. So setting expectations, introducing yourself, setting goals, and setting boundaries around the therapeutic encounter. I posted a few, and I'll show you this in a little bit, but I posted 2 very brief Psychology Today articles about what it means to set the frame. So if you feel like taking a look and looking at that, you're welcome to, but that's not required. Okay, so this semester, Advanced Micro Practice, there are 14 different theoretical orientations that we're going to go through this semester, which is a ton. So it's pretty fast-paced. And the main thing that I want you to understand is that there's a big focus on integration and the eclectic approach. So what this means is that no matter your orientation, so if you are a CBT therapist, or a psychodynamic therapist, what this class and what the textbooks really suggest is that an integrative approach or an eclectic approach is what may be best indicated for your clients. So for instance, I'm a psychodynamically oriented therapist, but if I have someone come in to see me who has severe borderline personality disorder, I'm going to pull from DBT to use because that is best indicated for my client. So in that sense, I'm really taking on an integrative approach. And again, we'll get into this more. Today is really just to be pretty light and a overview, but that is what is meant by integration or being eclectic. It's pulling from different theoretical orientations to help meet the best needs of your clients. Okay, just a little bit about me. My name is Jessica Glenn. I'm an LCSW supervisor. Like I mentioned, this is my second semester at UTA teaching. I did a little bit of teaching in New York City at Columbia University. I was a TA, and then also at NYU School of Social Work. I did some adjuncting there as well. I went to Penn State for undergrad, double majored in psychology and sociology, and then went to Columbia University in New York and majored in social work there. Graduated with my MSW in 2008. And since then, I have been working in a variety of different settings. My main focus has been severe mental health and emergency psychiatry, addiction, and those are the two main areas of expertise that I have. So severe mental illness, substance use disorders, and right now I'm in private practice, and I'm really enjoying that. It's a slower pace than my emergency psychiatry days. And I'm also supervising. I run right now one social work supervision group for people working on their LCSW. I'd love to hear, and just to back up about me, I am available for any questions that you have about my experience. I'm going to do my best this semester to tell you a little bit about, bring in some real case examples from my experience in the field. And if you have any questions about my experience, private practice, supervision, any of that, please ask away. Okay, so I would really love to hear from you and for you to meet one another, hence the meet your peers bullet point. So the way to do that, and this is an opportunity for extra credit. So when we have class online, let me back up. Every single week there's a discussion section. And then when we have class online, the discussions are, every week they're optional, but when class is online, you'll have the opportunity for extra credit. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this so it's open, but week 1 discussion, you have the opportunity for 1 extra credit point. And if you complete this, then you'll get a point. So I would love to hear from you. So this week, the discussion board is about introductions. I hope that each of you have an opportunity to connect with the material and with one another over the course of the semester. So please answer these questions so that we can learn more about you. So the questions are, why are you taking this course? Where is your field placement? I really want to know this so that I know where to focus my lecture and my case examples. What area of social work are you studying, or in what area of social work do you hope to work one day? Again, this is really important so that I can make sure that I can tailor the information in the lectures to your needs. And then what do you hope to gain from this course? And this is a goal setting question. And again, this is part of setting the frame and part of working with your clients in your first session. You want to ask your clients, what do they hope to gain from your therapeutic experience or from the therapy or the course of treatment? And so similarly, I want to know, what do you hope to gain from this course so that I can help work better for you and help you to learn and attain those goals of what you hope to gain. So just a note at the bottom, in order to receive full credit, you have to answer all of the questions posted above. So this discussion board section is open right now, so you can go ahead and answer those questions. And again, if you complete this by the 28th, so due August 28th, you'll receive 1 extra credit point. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the lecture. So meet your peers, we completed that. So another part of setting the frame is just setting rules and expectations for the therapy. So if your sessions are 45 minutes long, you want to make sure that that's very clear to the client when you're working with them. So in terms of our rules and expectations, we're meeting on Thursdays 2 to 4:50. We're going to begin promptly at 2:05 because I understand that there's traffic and things come up. And so at the stroke of 2:05, I'll be starting roll call each week. And then a question that I have for you that you're welcome to either post in your discussion question, or we can talk about more next week, or both. Would you guys prefer a 15-minute break in the middle of this lecture, or would you prefer to end 15 minutes early? So that would mean ending at 4:35. And that's really something, this is a collaborative approach, which is similar to my therapeutic approach in work with clients. I want to know what you guys want and what the class needs, and I'm willing to flex my expectations as long as we're all on the same page. So I'd love to hear from you. What do you prefer? 15-minute break in the middle or ending 15 minutes early? Okay. Other class rules and expectations. I expect you to do the readings, and then I expect you to participate in the class discussion. And I understand that not everyone is a verbal processor in the moment. Some people are shy, and that's why there's this discussion section for you. So if you prefer not to talk in class, go to these discussion questions and, post online. But this isn't a part of your grade per se, unless it's a week where extra credit is available. But I do really want discussion and participation because, again, collaboration is so important for your learning and for your betterment. And I just would love to learn from you guys and love to learn what your needs are as we move forward in the semester. Okay, so that's a little bit about the first real page. This is a very short lecture, but setting the frame continued. We're going to go over the syllabus. We're going to go over assignments and go over discussions, which we already started to touch on. So if you click on courses, and again, you can find your course here. And then at the, when it opens up, you can click on syllabus here, or you can go over to the left and click on syllabus. So we'll just go to the left because I was there. But this is basically our contract for the semester. This is all of the information that you should need. This is a basic overview in the beginning. My email, my contact information. I prefer email, and office hours are by appointment only. I'm happy to meet with you and happy to speak with you one-on-one, but please contact me to schedule that. I need to double check our location. Sometimes they change last minute, and if that happens, I will update that as soon as possible. But we are Thursdays from 2 to 4:50. And again, I would love to hear from you guys about your preference regarding a break versus ending a little bit early. Okay, so there's a lot of information in here. And I'm going to go through it as best I can, but there's various competencies that we're going to be covering regarding mental health practice, and you can go through and review that. Please let me know if you have questions about any of those. There's a lot more to cover, so I'm going to push us through. Regarding required textbooks, there's this Cody and Lehman text, and then also this Turner text. So both of these are required for class. They go hand in hand very nicely, and really complement each other beautifully in terms of some of the theories that we go through. Recommended texts. So the DSM-5 If you do not have it and you plan on moving forward in your social work career, I highly recommend just going ahead and getting the DSM-5. And you may be able to, speak with your accountant, but you may be able to write that off as an educational expense since you're in school now. This book, Random Family, I read in grad school. It's fantastic and just provides a lot of information about differences in terms of family norms. It's really eye-opening and interesting, especially if you're interested in family work. Both of these Linehan books, if you were interested in working with clients with borderline personality disorder or interested in DBT as a treatment for a variety of disorders, both of these Linehan manuals are fantastic. This book by Susan Lucas is phenomenal, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Where to start and what to ask. It's a handbook on how to assess couples, individuals, children, families. I mean, it's so helpful. Gives a lot of great tools on how to provide a thorough assessment. It also provides a step-by-step in how to conduct a mental status exam, which is something that all of you should know how to do, and we will cover on the first day of class. And then finally, both of these Yalom books, I highly, highly recommend. I recommend these books to all of the people, all of the social workers that I supervise. The Gift of Therapy is really easy. It's a very easy, enjoyable read, very practical tips. Each chapter is a page or two long about a variety of topics such as self-disclosure or how to think about your clients in a different way. It's very, very good. And then this book, Love's Executioner, is also fantastic. It is an amazing experience reading Yalom's thoughts and his honest countertransference in this book. I will likely reference the two of these often throughout the semester, and I highly recommend them. Okay, so the discussion papers, so the way that the class is graded is based off of 4 discussion papers. And the discussion papers cover each paper you'll cover one theoretical orientation. So each paper should be 5 to 6 pages each, and you have to reference the class readings plus at least 3 external reliable sources. And I'm going to cover that in class to make sure that you guys know exactly what that means and how to find external reliable sources. And I'd like to show that to you in person rather than online. You must write your papers according to APA requirements. I'm going to show you also in class some tips and tricks on how to make sure that your paper is APA compliant. Okay, so at the beginning of the semester, you'll have been given a case that we as a class will be following throughout the course. Each week during our discussion period, we'll take time to talk about the case and your thoughts about how the intervention model or the theoretical model could be applied to the case. This will give you a foundation for how you can discuss the case in your paper. Papers are to be submitted online on the date specified below. I do not accept late assignments. So if you look on Canvas, there's a due date specified for each paper in the assignment section, and I will not look at your paper if it's submitted after the due date. Each paper is 25 points each, and then it's a total of 100 points. So here's an outline of the discussion papers, okay? So provide a clear statement of what issue of Laura's, she's the case that we're going to be following, is being discussed. State which intervention model you're discussing. What are the key features? And then note that this includes the theory behind the model and what the model says about human nature, how problems develop, and how the model is designed to address those problems. Provide a brief statement about how you will apply the model, and then discuss which aspects of the model would be most helpful. This will make a whole lot more sense once we start actually covering the models. So below is an outline of each paper and what they cover. So the first paper covers either humanistic, cognitive behavioral therapy, solution-focused therapy, or narrative therapy, and it's due on 9/25. And then case paper 2, attachment, EFT, or family systems on 10/16. Case paper 3, relational models, self-psychology, or existential, is due 11/6. And then case paper 4 is either MI, DBT, or crisis intervention, due 11/27. So papers must be submitted by 11/59 on the above due dates. Okay, and now I'm going to show you where to find the case information. So if you go into the modules section under the course, under course materials, the case study for discussion papers. So if you open that up, semester case, hello. I'm using a Mac, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to open things. Open, there we go. Okay. So this is the semester case. I'm not going to take time right now to read it. I want you guys to read this. You may need to read it multiple times. And also please bring this to class, because there will be times at the end of or throughout each lecture, we'll be talking about the case and going through it and how we can think about the intervention model in terms of this particular case, okay? So please take time to familiarize yourself with Laura and the case study. Okay, back to the syllabus. Okay. So attendance, I'm going to be taking attendance each week. I expect you to be here or to let me know if you're not able to be there. Your grade will not be, I'm not grading your attendance. However, at the end of the semester, if someone is on the cusp and has like a 79 instead of an 80, and at the end of the class, and they have perfect attendance, I will use my discretion based off of your attendance to bump that up. And so I do expect that you come. I hope that you will come and participate, but it's not an absolute mandatory thing that's going to negatively affect your grade. It can only help to enhance your grade. Okay, so grading, I mentioned the discussion papers, there's no makeup assignments, and then here is the course schedule, okay? So this is like the meat of what we're going to be doing each week. So week 1, August 22nd, it shows what we're going to be doing. If you haven't read this, do not worry. It basically just talks about integration and an eclectic approach being very helpful. So it's okay if you didn't read it. Don't worry. I'd rather have you focus on reading for next week. So week 2, August 29th, we're covering humanistic or person-centered therapy. September 5th, we're covering cognitive behavioral therapy. And then again, all the readings are over here. September 12th, we're covering solution-focused therapy. On September 19th, narrative therapy. September 26th, attachment theory. October 3rd, emotion-focused therapy. October 10th, family systems theory. And I may go in and update and just put at the bottom of each of these when the paper's due so that we can see on the screen how things are broken up. Because you will have a choice, I believe, between these three for a paper. I know for sure the first paper is these four. But I'll go through and add in on the syllabus where things are broken up. October 17th, we're covering relational models. October 24th, classes online. I'm out of town that day, and so I'll be uploading a lecture much like today and about self-psychology. On Halloween, we're going to be covering existential approaches. November 7th, motivational interviewing. November 14th, dialectical behavioral therapy. And then our last meeting in class is November 21st, and we're covering crisis intervention. Technically, our last day of class would be Thanksgiving Day, but we have no class that day. So the final lecture will be optional. You do not need to participate because, again, there's no class. So this will be, I'll post a final lecture, and then I'll post a discussion online that you can participate in if you feel like it. We'll be talking about termination, and then the discussion will be extra credit if you choose to participate. Okay, so there's a lot more information on here that I'd love for you to please review. If you have a disability and need accommodations, please come to me and let me know. And then, there's a lot more information here that I would like for you to review on your own. Here is a course summary with all of the extra credit and papers laid out. Okay, so we're going to go back because I want to review. There's just a lot of information in here. So you can go through and go to all of these and review on your own. I need to publish this. Library resources. This will be very, very helpful for you in your papers. I have information here about the mental status exam, which we'll cover next week. And I think that's about it for now. Let me see if there's anything on here. Required text, recommended readings, case study, papers. Okay, extra credit. If we go to the assignment section, you'll be able to see here all of the extra credit opportunities as well as your papers. I want you to please click on your assignment. So click on paper 1, and this is another description of the discussion paper. And then there's also a rubric. I highly, highly recommend checking out the rubric so that you know exactly what is expected. It's a total of 25 points, and the 4 papers throughout the semester will equal 100 points. If we go back to the assignments, there are extra credit opportunities for each paper. So this is worth 2 points. So you can increase your score on paper 1 by 2 points, which essentially is 2% of your final grade. And this is optional. So if you would like to get in on this, you need to find a peer. It's your responsibility to find a peer in the class to swap papers with and review their paper, make edits, and then submit that to me no later than Sunday. So this is a few days before the final paper is due to allow time for your peer to review your feedback and make changes. In order to get credit, you need to submit the paper. You need to use the track changes options to show that you've provided quality feedback to your peer, And then also demonstrate that you've used the rubric to provide feedback to improve their paper. So if you do those 3 things in your peer review and submit that to me, so you're submitting your peer's paper, then you can receive 2 points extra credit. And that will go toward your paper, essentially. There's no rubric for this. This is all up to my discretion. But if you hit these 3 things, then you will get a full 2 points. So those are the extra credit. So there are 4 of those, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that equals 8 points total. So 8%, you can increase your grade by 8%. And then also there's 3 discussion questions. So week 1, if you answer that, that will count as extra credit. Week 10, classes online that day. So that is also an extra credit opportunity. And then week 15 is an optional participation, and that is also an extra credit opportunity. So in total, you have the opportunity to raise your grade by 11 points or 11%, which is pretty significant and can get you from a 79, which would be a C, to a 90, which is an A. So I really highly encourage you to take advantage of these extra credit opportunities. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you all for joining me and participating. And I look forward to seeing all of you in person next week and meeting you virtually through your discussion questions later this week. Okay, thanks. Bye.